I guess I've always thought of him as sort of the ultimate underdog. You know, that the line between just keep going, you have to fight for what you want, and you gotta know when to say when and when to give up, has always been extremely blurry to me. I don't think my dad ever gave up on anything. And I have a really easy time starting things, but a very difficult time finishing them. So I guess that sort of means I give up on stuff all the time. When I first decided to move to Los Angeles, it was really hard. I was struggling mightily financially. I found out I really didn't know a lot of things that I thought I knew. And there were some difficult times, and my dad was always there. I think his faith in my dream was stronger than my faith in my dream, or even my idea of what my dream was. It's like he knew, but he didn't want to tell me, but he would just drop these breadcrumbs. And years later, I would look back and be like, we were driving across the country to bring me to Los Angeles, because I think he thought that's what dads were supposed to do, even though I was in my 30s. And he had this video camera, big old thing that took VHS tapes that he used to carry everywhere and would film anything, minutia, hours and hours of minutia. And it was on this trip that he said, you need to get behind the camera. And I didn't want to. I was uncomfortable. I didn't want to screw something up. I didn't want to break it. I was scared of it. And he said, I think it's really going to help you acting in front of the camera if you get behind the camera. And 3 years later, I made my first film. It's like he knew that that's where my path was going, where my journey was going, even though I had no idea. He's always seemed to be 4 steps ahead and yet behind at the same time. He had this great idea for a wood pellet manufacturing plant. I don't know, back in like 1982 or 84, and he got a model made, and he was pitching it to investors, and nobody could quite see the vision. And today, wood pellets are what, half of New England heats their house with. And so he was just too far ahead to know that he was where he was supposed to be or something. I've always admired that about my dad, even though sometimes it was a little irritating because it felt like he was telling me what to do when I didn't agree that that's what I needed to do, and it turns out he was right. Anyway, I've been thinking about these things a lot.